You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 125, Roman J. Israel, Esquire. This is starring Denzel Washington, Colin Farrell, and Carmen Ejogo. A legal drama of sorts about a curious character played by Denzel Washington named Roman J. Israel, and sort of his... shenanigans, as it were. A lot of his shenanigans after his legal partner dies. This is directed by Dan Gilroy, who did a personal favorite of mine, Nightcrawler. He directed that, which was his film debut as far as a director. But he's also been a writer for a long time as well. Micah, what did you think of this?
Not quite the film that I would think that would come from the director of Nightcrawler.
I agree.
But this film's okay. I think Denzel his performance is way better than this movie. Like, the movie is just like you could see everything coming. Not from a mile away, but you could predict what was going to happen moments before it happened, and it's fine. I think this movie is carried by Denzel Washington's performance as this just like weird guy with this is him doing that guy from The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, he's on the spectrum.
Yeah, like he's super smart. And he's just, I don't know. I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it. I'm glad I saw it. I enjoyed it enough to watch it again. This is the second time seeing it.
Had you seen it in a movie theater? Or?
Yeah. Well, I'm married to a lawyer. So.
A black lawyer.
A black lawyer who loves black, actors. So this was pretty much a required viewing for me. But.
Oh, look, we're going to see this. Okay.
Yeah. But, that's fine. I enjoyed it. And like I said, Denzel Washington's performance alone is worth, watching this film. It's like a 2.5. It's right down the middle.
Is it an Oscar-worthy performance, you think?
The performance?
For Denzel Washington that he was nominated for? That we'll find out tonight whether he wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was nominated, one, because the Academy is just kind of racist, and they're like, well...
I need to get a nigga in here somewhere.
It's and they got two.
Who's the other one?
Daniel Kaluuya.
For what?
Get Out.
Get Out.
I think Denzel Washington's performance is better than Daniel Kaluuya's, but I think this performance is because it's something. It's because it's weird, quote unquote, because it's Denzel Washington playing some
Rain Man, basically.
Yeah, because it's Denzel Washington playing Rain Man. I feel like the people who do these nominations were like, oh well, it's Denzel, and he's plus like legit, like Denzel's performance elevates this movie. This movie, starring anybody else, I would not have been interested in, but seeing Denzel Washington play this role this way is the only reason why I give this movie a pass.
That's 100% true. For me, it is.
Like, so, I'm literally trying to picture anybody like Lawrence Fishburne or Wesley Snipes or LL Cool J. Just trying to do this role.
Will Smith,
right? And
I could actually see Will Smith playing a role like this 100%. I don't think it would be as good.
I don't think it would be as good. But I do like the character, and the strength of this movie is hinged directly on liking this character. And I like the performance that he gives. So 2.5, and you get 2 points because Denzel Washington did a bang up job.
That's fair. So for me, yeah, I mean, I think I would probably echo a lot of your sentiments. Like it's just kind of interesting to watch a performance that is so far outpacing the movie itself. And I like when I originally reviewed this movie, that was exactly what I said. Like the movie's fine. Like, it's not a like, wow, the story is really compelling, or, you know, like, I've got to find out more about this Roman J. Israel universe. Is there going to be a spinoff? You know, like, there's nothing about it that I thought was captivating long term. It's a good movie, like, not a great movie. It's good. It's fine. Again, I didn't hate rewatching it. This is also my second time seeing it. But his performance is what gets you to stay. It's what you actually enjoy while you're watching. You're like, wow, I've never seen Denzel Washington play an odd person. Like, he's always either like the super cool guy, or the one time being like the like crazy over the top villain, or generally like a cop you can root for, always from New York, whether he's in New York or not.
He's very good at playing the everyman from New York.
Yeah, he is.
Regardless of what city he's in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Regardless of where his character was born.
Like, okay, that's cool.
Mississippi? By way of New York. Okay.
He could have been born in Japan from Japanese people, and he would still come out a 60-year-old black man from New York.
You know what? And we would excuse it because it's Denzel.
Right.
We'd be like, you know what? Konnichiwa, motherfucker. Like, what's up? So yeah, I think his performance is what really, I would go as far as to say it's not just his performance. I think the main actors in this movie are all outpacing the movie. All of them are. Like, I'm not a huge like Colin Farrell person by any means. I think he's a fine actor. Like, I'm certainly not going to a Colin Farrell movie like, oh, you gonna see that new Colin Farrell shit? Like, no, I'm not.
Be shocked if anyone said that.
Right. Except, you know, but I didn't think he was bad in this at all. I thought he was actually pretty good.
I thought it was good, but I could literally picture anybody else.
No, exactly. Like, there's nothing, but again, it's fine, but the movie is far below his performance, you know? And Carmen Ejogo, I thought, actually was quite good. I actually really liked her character a lot. But they're really the only three. Like, there's really only three people in this movie that matter. But yeah, Denzel Washington's performance is far outpacing it. And it's worth seeing for that. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Like, that's about it. Terrence, your thoughts?
This was my first time seeing the movie. And I hadn't necessarily, like, I didn't watch your review for it. I wasn't really interested at all, even though it is Denzel Washington. I just wasn't really interested in the movie, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a good movie. I don't think it's a good movie, personally. But his performance is very good.
Yeah. You think it's Oscar worthy?
The performance?
Yeah.
Which is what the movie is nominated.
Yeah, it's just
his
for him.
performance.
Yeah,
His performance?
It's nowhere near sniffing any type of Best Picture sound.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
Sound mixing.
Not
We
at
can't
all.
even get a nerd Oscar. That's offensive.
Does it deserve an Oscar
Or at least be nominated.
for best performance? Look. The thing is, watching a Denzel Washington, I can't take him out of it. I can't. It's impossible. I don't give a fuck. Even Fences was the closest. And even still, that nigga was Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah, he was just
He was
Denzel Washington in the
Washington
50s.
and like with 19,000 lines of dialogue. But like even him playing this particular character, like it's just still him. He just put some weirdness into it. He just put some like quirks into it. Nah, I don't think it deserves an Oscar. I don't think it's Oscar worthy. Yeah, the movie was just there. It's one of those movies that I was just kind of like, okay. Plot wise, I'm like, cool, whatever. It
was by the numbers, like Micah said.
Yeah, I was just kind of like just watching it just because I had to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, wrap it up, B. Like, hurry up. What's gonna happen in this movie? I don't really like it, honestly. It's not a film that I enjoyed. Yeah. I enjoyed his performance to an extent, but overall, I don't need to watch it again.
That's fair.
I'd probably give it like a 2.
Okay. Yeah, I like the reason why I wanted to do this because it was nominated. His performance was nominated for an Oscar, but also because I wanted to have the conversation about like his performance versus the movie, because like it is the most like deadpan.
This is him, and this is the fucking movie. I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this movie.
Right?
But,
like there's
like his performance. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll continue watching it because he's pretty good. Colin Farrell, the woman with Carmen Ejogo.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have much to do. Colin Farrell was just saying lines. To me, I'm like, you're not a lawyer.
Yeah, Carmen Ejogo's character felt like it was there because they needed a woman there.
Yeah. Like, there was really no
cast.
point in her. She didn't have a purpose in the movie.
Oh,
She just had him come in.
Yeah. I thought differently of that, but
I mean, her being there leads to different points, but the overall story of this movie, the beginning, the death of the partner, the going to the new law firm, the doing the thing that he did, and the resolution to that, none of that needed her to be there.
Like, it was almost like
I would agree with that.
It was
I
almost like
just
she
think
was
that's
his center. Like she would show up in like some of the most chaotic moments of his. Like, I don't know. It was I don't know. I didn't think she really needed to be there. I mean, I'd like to hear what you have to say, but yeah, he's just fucking just there.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird, it's a weird movie. Like that's part of the reason why I kind of dig it from a perspective. It's like, it was like they I don't know if they went to Denzel Washington and they said, "Hey, this is the idea. We want to go in this direction and really hammer in on your character." And he was like, "All right, cool. Like let's do it." And they like really worked on the character and made him what he is. And then they were like, "Oh shit, it's almost Friday. We got to write a script." Like, they were just like, "You're a lawyer now." I don't know. Like it felt like that. Like they had spent so much attention and time on, I would even argue, those three characters. And obviously, he's to a far greater extent than Carmen Ejogo or Colin Farrell's characters. But I felt like they spent more time concentrating on the three of them and less time concentrating on the actual interesting level of a story. And it was just like, it felt really bare bones. Yeah. It was like just enough plot to get you to the next scene so that you could see Denzel Washington's performance, which is just kind of weird to me. But I don't know if there's other examples of that in modern movies, but I'm sure there are. I just can't. None come to mind right now. So the film starts out with us meeting. It actually starts out with Denzel Washington as Roman J. Israel Esquire, giving he's basically dictating a law briefing, right? I think your wife would probably call it that.
Yeah,
I don't know the terms.
Yeah.
Whatever. Was she as excited for this in the theater?
She was super excited for this.
What did she think?
Did she like the movie?
Yeah, she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to see it together, and she was like, "We got to see that new Denzel movie, Roman J. Israel." What? What are you talking about?
What the fuck is an Esquire? Stop.
Something about a magazine? What?
Yeah.
Esquire. Yeah, you guys have that in your house, don't you?
No, we have. I
don't believe you.
We have Jet.
No, Jet's not going anymore. That's the owner's one.
We have billiards, American billiards or something like that, and we have a lot of Howard magazines, and we have a couple of Washingtonian magazines.
You don't have any real black magazines?
No. Like Essence?
You don't have Essence?
No. Well, she reads Essence.
Okay, all right, buddy.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
but she throws those away. Like the coffee table books that we have. The coffee table books are like billiards, Washingtonian, In Style, and Howard.
Billiards? She likes
pool?
She plays
pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but
I'm very disappointed there's not more Essence magazine strewn about your household.
But she enjoyed the movie?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it a lot.
Well, she's probably she's going to get more out of it.
Yeah, she got a lot more out of it, actually.
Yeah.
Because she sees it from different perspectives, and she's sitting there trying to see, how people in movies that have real world jobs, you try to test to see if they did their research.
I do that with computers.
Yeah. She would do that. And I don't remember if she found anything that was egregious.
They just start using
legal standpoint.
Random legal terms like, I'm going to esquire these briefings down to the judges.
Right, into the judges' chambers at the jury pool. I need to take my swimsuit to the jury pool.
Wait a minute. Who wrote this? She's writing notes oh, I see you motherfuckers. So we open with him giving this sort of briefing where he's basically indicting himself, if that terminology makes sense. And So it's basically about how he's going back on all these things that he believed for years. And so it's some sort of criminal indictment of himself. So then the film actually opens with us meeting Roman J. Israel. Let me just describe Denzel Washington's look, because I think that is a very important part of this.
Yeah, that's like one of the most important parts of this movie, actually.
He is wearing glasses that were clearly 25 years too old to be worn in a modern setting. He's got an afro. It's not, I would argue, not very well taken care of. He's got headphones with the orange covers on them. Again, I feel like they came with a Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
And he doesn't wear a suit, but he's, I guess, professionally dressed, but I would argue he looks like a dork.
So, you know who he looks like.
Oh, no.
He's Cornball West. Like, that's exactly what he is.
Oh, come on.
That's exactly what he is. Minus the thing to cover the tracheotomy scar. He's Cornel West. He's incredibly smart. He's super black, like to the point of just like, calm down, nigga. And he says dumb shit at awkward times.
Oh shit, he is Cornball West. Oh. Yeah, and he's a relic of his time.
Like, people respect him, but like it's time to move on. Like, and he's still stuck in that past. Right, I gotta imagine that is the what he was going for there.
Right. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. That to me is the crux of the story, right? Like, it is not a well-crafted story where it feels like, oh wow, this is like really complicated or interesting. Like, but that to me is the crux of the story, is that he's a relic. And it deals with him being a relic, and that's the point. I think that's the point of Carmen Ejogo's character. She is the new age version of him. Except she doesn't have autism. She doesn't. She's adorable. But I think that she's supposed to represent the new age of political activism, and he represents the old world. And obviously that culmination hits a fucking dead stop in the middle of this movie where I'm like, so you're just going to treat this dude like shit in public? Like, that shit was fucked up. But I feel like that's why she's there. But he is a fucking dinosaur.
If you look at this movie as purely a character piece, then yeah, fine. I will give you that.
But I do agree with your earlier statement that she has nothing to do with the story, the progression of that story to its end.
Right. If the story is the character piece, the plot is dumb.
Yes. See, that's what I would go with. Right. Because I care more about Denzel Washington as a character and as a character piece for the film than I give a fuck about
the plot.
The plot makes absolutely no sense if that's all there. If that's what it is.
Why is it
the
there?
overarching plot makes no fucking sense at all.
Yeah, and look, spoiler alert, we're probably not going to talk much about the plot because the plot is dumb. I mean, we'll touch on it just to give you context of where we are, but like the plot is stupid. Like it's idiotic. But I think it's far more about him being this guy on the spectrum, being a behind the scenes guy and being very comfortable in that world and being okay to still be a relic in that world because he's still safe, right? He never has to go outside except to walk home, right? And back and forth to work. Then he's thrust into the real world. And then he has to maneuver his way in the real world. And then that thrusts him into this other law firm where then he has to deal with doing what he used to do and this real world shit, which he doesn't mix with, and then trying to like deal with Carmen Ejogo and all that shit, and then also having this ultimate plan at the end. So, and then the underlying plot is fucking dumb. Like all of it's dumb. Like, come on, man. That shit. Like when I saw the trailer, I was like, why are they giving away the plot? And I realized, oh, okay, because it doesn't fucking matter. That's not why anyone would go to this movie. So we find out that Roman's partner is a very highly respected lawyer. His name is William Jackson, and he is sort of the front of house guy. Like he's the guy who went to court and stuff like that, while Roman stayed back and did all the paperwork. And he's like the real brains behind this law firm. It's a 2-person law firm. We find out that William had a heart attack, and that he's in the hospital. So these guys are sort of famous criminal justice lawyers, right? And they have been in LA for, probably since the 70s. So then, because William has this heart attack, his secretary basically says, okay, Roman, you need to go into court and ask for continuances on all of these cases. Basically, a continuance is like, hey, can we we do the homophobic pause real quick, and then when our guy gets well, then we'll come back. So he's supposed to do that. Of course, William doesn't really do that because he's kind of stubborn, and when he sees injustice, he can't help himself but to call it out, which I can respect, right? Yeah. And that's part of the character that you can respect. It's like, yeah, this guy's weird, but like this guy is, speaking some truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but there's also something to
it's being irritating.
Not even irritating. I understand you see something that's wrong and you want to swoop in to save the day or whatever. Like you see injustice and you want to right that wrong. But there's also like tact.
Yeah, he has none.
You have no tact. Like, yeah, all that's, your heart is in the right place, but like you can't just Leroy Jenkins that shit and fuck everything else up.
Well, I mean,
like,
I think
that's his problem.
Well, and it's because he's on the spectrum, right? He's not a normal functioning guy.
Yeah, you can tell he's not all there.
Yeah, I know people like that in real life that aren't on the spectrum. That just calm down, yo.
I used to too. Anyway,
you sure everyone on the spectrum?
I would argue yes. I'd argue he was. I don't give a fuck. Take your meds. It's fine. So Roman gets to I guess I'm the Colin Farrell of this situation. Get your shit together and wear a suit tomorrow.
I mean, technically he was. Well, no, I don't know what the fuck was going on with his. Okay, before we continue, he's a lawyer, and I know he's in the background, but like, what was he getting paid?
They say something like $500 a week. Yeah.
What the fuck? I must have missed that part.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you
this
mean?
nigga's wild. How could he even afford an apartment in LA at $500 a week?
I forgot.
Did you see where his apartment was?
Yeah, I mean, technically, this nigga was eating peanut butter and honey sandwiches. so maybe
he was eating better than Micah when he was single.
Well, yeah, he was.
He was getting his protein in.
He said he wasn't. He wasn't necessarily doing it for the money, right? Like, I'm sure, Marion Barry or whatever that partner's name was was giving him as much as he needed to survive.
In LA, $500 a week.
I don't know if it's $500 a week.
I'm pretty sure they said it was $500 a week. Or maybe that was about billing later. I don't know. But it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, because $500 a week anywhere is not enough.
In Mississippi.
Not even there.
You ever been to Mississippi?
I mean,
I haven't.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
I gotta imagine he was getting a living wage.
As a lawyer, though.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna be a lawyer for a living wage.
Look, I know he's not doing it for the money, but like, nah, nigga.
There's a lot of lawyers.
Fuck that.
There's a lot of like people romanticize lawyers.
I don't want like they said a fucking like what are they district attorneys or no what do they call them, the ones where they give where you public defenders.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Right, like
you see how much paperwork them niggas fill out every day.
Right,
that's why they don't give a fuck.
Lawyers aren't like oh, are you going to be a doctor or a lawyer? Like, there's no guarantee that you're going to be rich if you're a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like that's,
Keenan, like
I think I'd rather try to be a doctor.
Nope.
No, because it's like 10 years of fucking school.
No, that's
after
not,
school.
No, that's
and then
not my problem.
Deal with blood.
That's not my problem with being a doctor. My problem is not trying to get sued. Sorry, I left scissors in your stomach. My bad. I was busy.
Sorry, I was trying to save somebody else.
Yeah. No, your insurance claims are fucking
This person
crazy.
came with a bullet in his head. Sorry.
Well, now you walk with a limp, but you got your head, don't you? You're welcome. I would be an asshole about it. Get out of here.
I feel like he should be paid a little bit more than $500 if that's what it was.
If that's what it was. But
Not enough money.
Nah, fuck that.
So then, Roman goes to do the continuances for William, and when he goes to do that, he speaks to a lawyer who's like defending the state basically, and he basically goes there and is like, look, this person is being overcharged, blah blah blah, and you're trying to ruin this kid's life. I think the kid was like 17 and busted for like breaking and entering, and she was like, we want to hit him with 10 years or something, or 15 years, and he's like, yo, what the fuck, like,
That's crazy. What are you doing? What's your problem?
yeah. And so he gives this great speech about being fair basically, and she don't really give a fuck. And she was like, my prosecution record is
100.
Is 100%.
Like,
So she was like, come on, you want some of this? And he was like, you right. And he just walked away. But he was pretty saddened by what he referred to as the butchery that happens, I guess, with public defenders and going against the state.
so was this basically trying to like air out what happens in the courts or what? Like the movie itself?
Yes, I think that's
Is that
very
what,
much
is
what he's
that
trying
what
to do.
this was basically trying to? Because like we
does
know that
not-
shit.
Yeah, but I mean, when I saw this movie the first time in the movie theater, it's a lot of white people. They don't know that shit. They're just like, yeah, you just go, you get a fair trial, you just head on home. Like, nah, that's not how that works.
No.
I'm afraid you're at the wrong place. So she basically writes him off, and she was like, nah, fuck that. We're not gonna help you.
Like that's just really fucked up. Yeah. Like I mean, I understand if you're a prosecutor, you want to win your case, but like this kid got busted for breaking and entering, and he has no priors, or maybe like one.
Yeah, he was a
And you're
misdemeanor.
like, you get 10 years. He's 17, and you're like, I don't give a fuck.
Because you don't care.
That's
yeah,
like what kind of fucking person?
That's it. You don't care.
Then at the same time, being a defense attorney, like defending someone that killed somebody. How do you do that?
I have a family member who's a defense attorney.
How does that work?
A very famous one, actually, in Maryland.
My wife could not. She was a trial lawyer for like a hot second.
Mm.
She
Really?
worked at a firm, and she was just like, "Nope, can't do it."
Like I'm not that type of person. I couldn't be a defense attorney. You did what? Murdered how many people? Nah, fuck that. You did that shit, nigga. I can't.
Like, excuse me, I won't give out your last name. Like, excuse me, Mr. Terrence, do you have any open statements? This nigga did it. He did it. Like, and his friends over there, down. They all together. Nah, son, lock him up. Lock him up.
It's like I'm not doing my job. Sorry, I can't.
You would be disbarred on day
Right?
one.
Like what the fuck? That's crazy, man. I couldn't deal with either one.
Yeah,
Prosecuting someone that I'm not 100% sure did it, or fucking defending someone that I know did the shit.
Yeah, the guy I know who's a very very famous defense attorney. Yeah, he's had to defend some people, and I'm like, yo, this person is a fucking psychopath.
How does he do it? Have you ever asked him? Like,
Yeah,
how the fuck do you pull that shit off?
this is his job. I mean, lawyers are kind of trained. I'm sure your wife can attest to this. They're kind of, especially trial lawyers, and I know 3 trial lawyers in law school. From my understanding, is they're broken down, like your logic, the way you see the world is broken down very differently. Like it's not about right or wrong; it's about what you can prove.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
that's,
I mean,
you
I
ever
understand
talk to a lawyer like that? It's the most irritating thing in the world. You're like, no, but this is clearly the thing. They're like, well, but
and
hold
they all
on.
have the same type of like look and attitude. Like
Yeah.
they all have
The
they're
worst
all-
people on earth.
They're all black men dating white women who are Republicans and have ties.
I mean, I don't know about
a little too tight up on their fucking throat.
Wow,
we
that's-
know one in particular.
yeah, I'm like, sounds
Who's
mighty personal.
We know one
He's
in
like,
particular
and
who's a
he
bit of a-
lives at the following. Like, they all live in this part of town.
he's a
on
bit
this
of an
street.
asshole. But
Exactly.
yeah, like you have to have a certain personality type to be able to be any type of trial lawyer. And
To
she was just
lie.
like, right? She was just like, nah, I can't do that.
No, your wife doesn't strike me as that type of person at
No,
all.
she doesn't do that. We know a woman who is similar to her, but she works under Marilyn Mosby.
Oh, okay.
and it's her job to bust crooked cops. Like she helps.
Oh, that's a good job. I like that.
I'd take that job.
She
He did it. Him.
I'm like, I don't even need to be a lawyer.
but
Like that
Baltimore,
nigga did that shit.
You have any evidence?
Baltimore is so corrupt and it's so like cliquish that she finds it very difficult to do her job.
Oh, so she's like an internal affairs lawyer.
Yeah.
Oof. You
they
gotta
don't
watch.
like
You gotta
them
watch.
motherfuckers.
Here's the thing. You gotta watch your back. Nah, yo, they try to kill you.
Yeah, I
Man,
couldn't.
I'm not built for that shit.
Right. Yeah.
What's up, Jay? No, nothing. Nigga. Nothing. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry that your friends went to jail today, but it wasn't me who did it. I'm just a lawyer. I'm just a country lawyer. I don't know anything. Sorry. So we get a scene of Roman meeting with this 17-year-old kid to tell him kind of his his options. And Roman, at this moment, I'm like, Denzel Washington is just talking to this black kid. Like, I feel like Denzel Washington, like, if you went to any of us went to him and be like, I'm having this problem, Denzel Washington would be like, he would sit back and he'd be like, look, let me drop some fucking bars to you. And that's what he does with this kid. And it's actually a really nice scene where, I mean, it's sad because he's like, look, this is what your life is going to be. Like, you can take the 5 years, or you can try to, you can plead out for 5 years, or you can try to go to trial. But if you lose, they'll hit you with 15, which that's a real problem in the criminal justice system. This kid's going to do 5 years and admit to something that he may or may not have done.
Yeah.
But if let's say he is innocent and he goes to trial, but he loses, they hit you with 15 years. Yo, I would take the 5 years. Fuck that. I'm not going to jail for 15.
What was the kid that watched the damn it, what's his name? I can't remember. The kid that was like, nah, I'm not pleading guilty for something I didn't do. And he was stuck in Rikers for like 3-4 years.
Oh, yeah. You watched the documentary about that, right? Yeah.
That's what happens. Like if you go to court, well, actually they kept putting his court dates off.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even going to court, and they just kind of left him in the system.
Nah.
It's possible that could have happened to this kid.
I would make them kill me. I would be
Maybe
like,
you be in jail
yo.
long enough, they will.
Nah, yo. I would go after everybody I needed to make them kill me right there in that courtroom. And I'd be like, I ain't do it. And then stab.
I did this one, though. And this one was me.
The one that I'm actually on trial for?
Look, you gonna throw me in jail for something I didn't do? I'm gonna take the common approach from barbershop. Well, shit, I might as well just do it.
For all this trouble, I should have hit.
Right. Yeah. 15, like 5 years taking a plea. My thing is like,
I don't want to admit
the one
to something
thing
I didn't
that
do.
sets
That's-
me off
that's the thing.
is if you imply that I did something that I didn't do, or you accuse me of doing something I didn't do, that shit drives me through the roof.
And
And if
then
I'm
you-
in court and
Right.
y'all trying to tell me I did some shit that I didn't do, I'd be like, yo, fuck all of y'all motherfuckers. I would not be able to hold it.
Huh, does that sound like the words of an innocent man?
Why-
Fuck all you motherfuckers? Hmm?
Like, well, yeah, fuck you too, nigga. Like, I ain't do it.
Fuck you too, Your Honor. Like,
Yeah, fuck you too.
yeah,
Got me
like
sitting in this bitch.
that is really a situation that is all too common. Is that
That
we
shit
have
happens every day.
that we need to plead out to take 5 years, 2 years, 3 years. Like, don't you dare. I mean, because Roman even says that, like, they're trying to punish you for even suggesting that there should be a court case for your innocence, which is a real fucking problem. By the way, which is the crux of his whole thing that he will get revealed later on, of like reforming the criminal justice system, because you have so many people who don't even get their time in court, because if they go for their time in court, they could be hit with 15 years.
Yeah.
He can't afford that. He'd be 32 years old when he got out. Your life is ruined. He'd be like, dude, I'm innocent. Well, you spent 15 years in jail. Now try to go get a job. Now get out there.
Yeah.
Or shit, after 5 years, try to get a job.
Yeah, because they ask you.
Right, felon.
Yeah, you're a felon. And then you pleaded to something you didn't do. I mean, there's a lot of states that are trying to they're having that ban the box initiative where they're removing the
They remove that question from
job applications,
yeah.
which they should. They should.
Right.
Like,
I'm trying to get a job, dog.
like
Like,
look,
what did you go to jail for? Stealing? Oh, well.
yeah. I mean, maybe there should be a box like, but it's only for a couple of things.
Like,
Like,
have you ever been to prison for stealing?
Right.
Or
Have you ever been
murder?
to prison for murder? Like, that's all we really need to know.
murder,
Like
murder and
or
rape.
theft.
Yeah, murder and rape. Like, nah, you don't get the ban the box on that shit.
Nah.
But like, you got busted for breaking and entering when you were 17. That shouldn't plague you until you're 35.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
What, are you going to break and enter into work to do more work?
Like, come on.
Is there a thing I can do at work to break out? Like, yeah. Like, yes, I was also arrested for trying to break out of prison. Oh, well, okay, that's cognizant, or that's a 1-to-1 for this job.
Right.
You can't work here. So yeah, he tells this kid all that stuff, and then we get it's a number of like rapid fire scenes of Roman not taking continuances, but instead trying to actually be a real lawyer, but he's terrible at it because he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he has no social barometer. He doesn't know how
Zero.
to deal with people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's right.
Exactly.
Like, he's right, but he doesn't know. He's like,
you don't know how to play the game.
But even if he were to speak properly to the judge, like, what would he get done? Even
Nothing.
if he's right, but the way he came across was like an asshole. But even if he wasn't coming across as an asshole, I don't think it would have mattered.
No,
Because it's just the way this fucking court system is set up.
The system is not designed to give people, especially poor people of any color, it is not designed to give them a fair chance. It just isn't. I mean, look, there are certainly unique and devastating ways that the court system affects black people specifically, which is more of the focus of this movie. But I mean, this client that he has right now is like Hispanic.
Yeah.
Like, poor people get railroaded in the justice system. Like, they absolutely get fucking railroaded. There's a whole thing, just as an aside, there's a whole thing about removing, I forget the exact term, but Kamala Harris wants to get rid of, like, basically, they have basically debtors' prisons. Like, if you can't afford $2,000 for like a bail bondsman or something like that, and you can't afford to pay a certain bond before going to the bail bonds to the court, they just put you in prison. And they just hold you there for a year, 2-3 years until your court case comes up. And it's just a debtor's prison. Just because you can't afford it means that you can't get out on bail before your trial. Yeah. What the fuck kind of shit is that? So if you're rich, well, you just go home. That's cool.
Yeah.
Even if you have money from embezzling money, like, you can use that money to get you out. Like, you're in for embezzlement. No, you don't get to use those dollars. Get the fuck out of here. Like, oh, well, I have $10,000. Yeah, nigga, you stole it. We know. Paul Manafort. So yeah, it's the criminal justice system is really fucked. So then we get Roman gets held in contempt because of course he does, because he won't stop like talking shit to the judge. Then we see him go home, and one of the things that really stands out about this movie, besides the performance, is the soundtrack.
Yep.
It's really fucking good.
I like the soundtrack quite a bit.
Yeah, it's great. And he goes home. He's got like a ton of records. Again, they are all from a time long ago.
Like the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah, well, because that was his fucking heyday.
Glory days, man.
And he goes home and eats, as Terrence previously described, peanut butter and honey sandwiches. Get something a little sweet. Got your protein.
Got a typewriter. I just think it's on a typewriter, yeah. I hate typewriters with a goddamn passion. You fuck up.
You
It's a lot of whiteout.
You just start the entire fuck over. So he's working on a briefing that we'll find out about later. But like around his apartment, there's images of him or someone who looks like him from the 70s, like doing activism. There's Angela Davis posters and all this other shit. So you kind of get more of the civil rights feel about who he is. Also, honey and peanut butter sandwiches is not enough to sustain me as a human being. Then we get a scene where Roman is back at his office with it's the daughter of William's daughter? Niece, William's niece, and she's there to inform him that Colin Farrell's character Colin Farrell's character Colin Farrell is playing a guy named George Pierce, who is like a big hotshot lawyer, and she's basically saying like he's going to take over all of the cases for the law firm. George Pierce comes in, again played by Colin Farrell, and he's basically like he's looking around, he's looking at Roman's office, and he's super impressed and by like all the work that Roman does, and you kind of get this indication that he kind of respects Roman. But again, he also thinks he's a relic because he is. Yeah. I mean, it's just a fact. But it's funny. He asks Roman, he's like, so how do you guys keep all your legal documents? You keep them in Quicken or like Legal Pad or something like that? And he was like, nah, they're on notepads or like note cards. It's like, note cards? I go, what? Like, what year is it? And he's like, oh, okay.
That's cool.
That's sure that's a hipster way of doing it, I suppose. And it was so funny. And he's like, all right, man, like I'll kind of see you around. He's like, yeah, I'll make sure to check on my what did he say, like my legal Quicken or whatever. Like Denzel Washington literally just like refused to change over 35 years. But Roman also gives him like this kind of readout, like he remembers George's first case and like how he pled out a client and all this other stuff, and that's been his MO. And then this is where you kind of get the Rain Man sort of aspect of Roman J. Israel, where he just knows all of these like cases and legal precedent and blah blah blah, like law journals and everything else. He knows all this shit off the top of his head. So sort of adding to the weirdness that is his character. So from there, they basically, I mean, he basically starts walking down the street. George comes out and he's like, he picks him up and he's like, hey man, let me give you a ride to your house. And they're having a conversation, and basically the conversation is about how when George was back in law school, he was going to quit, but William, Roman's partner, gave this great speech or taught this class, and that like really inspired him. So there's sort of this juxtaposition of this hotshot lawyer who does all these plea deals, which he clearly disagrees with, but he's also incredibly successful, and he also respects William as this civil rights hero. So, well, what's that face for?
No reason.
You're not buying the George Pierce character?
Absolutely no. When I first saw the movie, I'm like, oh, what is? I don't like the cut of this guy's jib, but no, he's just a lawyer.
It is kind of funny because he's actually genuine throughout the entire movie.
Throughout the entire movie, there's no ulterior motive whatsoever.
I think Colin Farrell has a villain face, and I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's gonna screw him. That's what I thought.
He's got a villain face. He's got a villain voice, right? Because he's trying desperately to hold on to this semblance of an American accent.
Oh yeah, he wants to say laddie so fucking bad.
right. But he's just. And he looks like the slick, slimy ass lawyer, right? So
yeah,
when I first saw
Wall
this,
Street type.
Yeah, I was expecting it. I was expecting him to, be an antagonist throughout the film,
but I guess he is though, right? Like he not an antagonist, but I guess he is the slick, slimy lawyer. Like it's just that he changes over time, or I think he was an ideologue, like this idealistic person. Changed over time, and then he kind of makes his way back.
He started out with good intentions, then he became a lawyer.
He goes through the same.
He became a defense. He goes the opposite.
Well, he goes through the same change that Roman goes through in the movie once he becomes part of that big law firm, where it's just like, Roman is like, oh, hey sister, we down, brother. Hey brother and sister and all that. Like, nigga, shut up. Like, stop that shit. My dear brother. Then at one point,
I don't care for that.
And then at one point, he's just like going through the motions of, well, this is, later on in the movie, he's like, well, yeah, it's expensive, but you're right to shop around. But this is, I will point to our extensive offerings. I don't do it, Denzel. I'm trying to work it out.
Yeah, that's not that.
It's not really working.
That was like
That
an
was like
Obama doing Denzel.
Obama
There's a lot of pausing and
slash George Costanza. That was a little weird.
had a little sprinkled in there.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll bring it up again when we get to it.
So far, the plot is stupid, by the way. Like, and we haven't even gotten to the
there really
isn't a plot at this
Right,
point.
No,
nothing's happening.
Nothing is happening, but we haven't got to the meat of the moronic plot that's the undergirdle of this whole movie, which is just bizarre. So then we see Roman goes, now that they've closed the law firm, and Roman refuses to go work for George Pierce because he doesn't want to work for this big corporate law firm, which I get. He goes to like a kind of I guess like a social justice warrior headquarters. I don't know what the right term. Like
and SJW.
Yeah, SJWH HQ. There you go. And he goes in and he's like, "Look, I could offer my services to get you guys like back focused on class action lawsuits and stuff like that really did a lot of damage during the like civil rights movement and stuff like that." But because he is ill-equipped to be a normal person, he says like, "Hey," they're like, "Oh, well, we're doing these other things," and he's like, "Yeah, no, not that nickel and dime bullshit that y'all doing, like some real shit." I was like, that's a surefire way to alienate your base. And so he gives like his resume and he meets with Carmen Ejogo, and I'm blanking on her character's name. Maya. And he's basically like, "Look, I can offer my services. You know, I've been doing this for 40 years. I could really help out at SJW HQ." And she's like, "Yeah, that's cool." And the guy sitting behind her is like, "Who's slacking off? Like, nigga, fuck you, yo. Working hard, dog." And then you get the first like physical tics that he has when he gets kind of rejected and told like, "No, we can't pay you. This is all volunteer work." And he starts like scratching his upper lip and all this other weird shit. And it's kind of just sad. Cause like Denzel's kind of like a schlubby guy now. like he just is. He's just kind of sad.
Yeah. This is as close to going full retard as Denzel is going to get, which is probably why he was nominated.
Look, well, you're not wrong, right? I mean, I don't care for that term.
I didn't make it up. I'm quoting a movie. Isn't that what white people do? Jack, when they want to say the N-word, they're like, "Oh, niggers in Paris. I love niggers in Paris. That song is great. What song am I talking about? Niggers in Paris." Like, what the fuck, yo? Like,
"What's up, my niggers in Paris" is a great song. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. Don't do that.
Well, the first physical thing you see of him is when he goes home. He takes like 3 steps and then he does like a 90-degree turn and then he goes into his house. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like,
hey man.
Before you realize like that he was like on the spectrum, like,
why is this nigga? Oh, and then later on and then you kind of catch him. Oh, okay. He's got it. Weird. He's got some things going on. Okay, that's fine.
But yeah,
I was just like, what the fuck with your big ass oversized jacket? That shit bothered me. Also, again, I don't like when people wear suits that are not tailored.
I 100% agree with you, but there's a couple of scenes where Denzel Washington is running, and I was like, "Yo, you're mad old now." You know? He's just like, he just looks like an old doofus.
He just looked ridiculous. He just looked pitiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the scene with Carmen Ejogo, you're just like,
like, it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right. Like, I feel like he needed to like just go to like a helping hand mission or something. Like, this dude needs help, man. He does, and not just because he's on the spectrum, but because like he just is just sad. Like, he is just a sad little man. And so Carmen, I don't know if Carmen's character, I don't know if she feels like bad for him or something, but she's like, I'm gonna stay in contact with you. Maybe you can help us out in the future. And fucking Great Value Seal over there is like, for what? Like, fuck this dude, man. He's insulting us. And she's just very sweet. Like, I don't know that they could have picked a more adorable character to kind of team him up with, but she just really is. She's like, I'm gonna buy that man a suit, like a tailored suit one day. And again, Seal is like, no, fuck out of here. Don't help that nigga. So then we see Roman again. He's headed home, and then we get back to the office, where he's decided that he's going to take the job with George Pierce so that he can have some semblance of a couple of nickels to rub together. And he's just kind of put in this like tiny little office where he's working on cases that he's not really that interested in. And he just, I don't know, he seems like a broken man. Because he kind of is.
Yeah.
Just sad.
This movie's about dragging old people into the present. Kicking and screaming.
Yeah, this is like when you can't. This is like when an older person can't retire, and then they're forced out of retirement to like work at Walmart, and you see them, and they're just like, I fucking hate all of you. I'm supposed to be in Palm Beach, nigga. They interacting, talking about welcome to Walmart. I love you. Like, get out of here. I hate this job, and I hate all of you.
I've never had a Walmart greeter greet me ever.
Really? Well, you don't go to Walmart then.
I really don't go to Walmart that much. But I've been a handful of times.
Yeah, I've been.
You must have been to black Walmarts.
Oh, they don't give a fuck. Nigga. Like, yo, do you even work here?
There's the one in Towson.
Don't steal.
They just be sitting there. They're older people. They're just kind of like. I'll say hey.
Oh no, I won't speak to them. It's not my job to speak to them. It's their job to speak to me.
It's because you're an asshole.
Like,
I'll say, hey, how you doing?
Like, I'm sorry, like, what are we arguing here?
See, this is proof. Like, I walk past and I'm like, how you doing?
Nah.
And sometimes they say what's up, and sometimes they don't. I'm like, well, fuck you then.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, that's how I operate. Like, I operate on the Baltimore...
well, fuck you then, bitch.
Yeah, like, that's how I operate. Yeah. Like, if you don't return that shit, I get mad. Like, I will offer the common courtesy. Mike has been burned too many times.
He's like,
nah,
I
fuck
don't
them.
talk to you. Forget it. No.
You come to me.
You come to me.
I like how Micah takes out his societal frustrations on this 75-year-old woman from Walmart. Like, nah, you had it too easy, lady, for too long.
You sitting down at work. Like, get out of here.
Don't you sit down at work?
Not all the time.
How often is your ass getting up?
I got to get up a lot.
That's too bad.
For what?
You wanna see my activity on my phone?
Nigga, I don't
You wanna
care.
see all these closed rings, bro? You wanna see all these closed rings?
What does that mean?
That means that I'm getting my ass up and moving and shaking and grooving, making shit happen. Look at that. Bam! Look at all them closed rings.
What is it?
It means I'm
You're
working.
walking?
Yeah, but on that Tuesday, you set your ass right down there half the goddamn day. Shut the fuck up. That was Walmart day.
How many steps is that for it to close?
4.
It depends.
4
It
steps.
depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Uh-huh.
Why we talking about me?
What about Roman?
Right, exactly. What about Roman and that push that he's getting?
So Roman, so
God,
George.
what the fuck you just said? Oh shit!
God damn it. So George calls Roman in to meet with a black mother to help. Her son was recently arrested, and I assume George was like, Roman's black. This woman's black, so I don't see any other.
Together?
I mean, look, I didn't see any other black people in that law firm.
No, I didn't either.
So I think they were just like, nah, you good. Come on in. George is like, look, help this woman out. Her son's been arrested. Do your thing. And so they leave, and the black woman, the black mother, because this is a black ass mom moment. She's like, look, I don't want to see no extra charges on my shit. Like,
Right.
Stop fucking around. If I feel like you ain't putting in all the work, I'm going to fire your ass. And I was like, yeah. This woman ain't even acting. Like, her son might have just gotten arrested. Like, this is a documentary. But yeah, she lets him have it. And you know what? Denzel Washington, look at Denzel Washington.
Yeah, look. Yo, look.
This nigga looks
look.
like
That guy used to be a sex symbol, you know?
This is what I'm saying. Back in the time where you didn't even need to have abs to be a fucking sex symbol.
Yeah,
he was just a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, God damn, like, hey, you look like a bowling pin, my nigga. Like, yo, what is happening, yo? Come on, Denzel. Damn. Come on, man. Like, don't go out like this, dude. Don't go out like Marlon Brando, man.
Well, he's doing the Equalizer Part 2, right?
Yeah, but he don't move that fast in those movies.
The hook from the Equalizer was that he looked like a fucking guy that worked at Home Depot, right, beating the shit out of people. Like,
Yeah, well, that's true.
He wasn't an elite fighter. He just bashed someone over the head with a nail gun.
he wasn't Akeem the fighting machine. He was just a dude.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Denzel. Look, I know, man, you're in your 60s, so you just don't give a fuck anymore. But don't go out like that, dog. Just don't let him do it. It ain't right.
My thing is, he brings him in, right? And he's like, hey, he's gonna be helping you. I'd have looked at him like, I don't want that nigga on my case.
Look, you were the mom?
I'm like, because presentation is important.
Yeah, man, people profile you. I mean,
and I'm looking at this nigga.
That's not very nice.
You don't want to hear.
You sound like me right now.
I'm sure that's not nice. But if this nigga came in looking like that, I'd be like,
nah.
Yo, was he?
Like, so y'all just throwing me to the junior leagues, my nigga?
Like,
this guy's got a tailored suit on. Can I get that guy?
Like, why does he look like this? What's wrong with him? He's like, he's one of our best. I'm like, I hope so, because
he better be a savant.
Is he gonna change his clothes?
He was like, nah.
I like my lawyers to look.
We've got Clifford the big red dog working on your case. Like, what the?
He just does not look like I would want.
I would not hire that lawyer.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. He
Like,
could probably be the best. I mean,
he literally knows more than anyone else.
He does.
Yeah, from memory.
Yeah, that's the thing. So he's probably the best person for your case, but then he might say some shit to the judge that'll fuck your whole shit up.
Oh wait.
Right.
By the way, him eating these peanut butter and honey sandwiches, like the way he eats is ridiculous.
Right.
He's like, then he refers to Latino folks as cockroaches. Yo, everything about Denzel Washington's character is repulsive.
Like, did he
like physically repulsive?
Like, was he calling the Latinos cockroaches? Or
he wasn't.
Was he talking about like the lawyers themselves? Like,
no, I think he was just making a general statement. Like, just, when the lights come on, they just scatter.
Well, nigga, you just call me a cockroach?
Yeah, that Latino dude was like, yo, I'm not having that. He was like, I know you're not white, but that shit is unacceptable.
Yo, that Latino dude straight up squared up. Like, you saw when he worked.
Like, what?
What'd you say? You call me a cucaracha?
I was like, yo, I will knock your crazy ass out right in this office.
Yeah, I will unstrap these suspenders and throw down.
Look, okay, so that scene is hilarious for many reasons, but I like that the Latino dude did the classic corporate thing of like, if I wasn't at work, we'd have to fight. He's like, see you later, motherfucker. like how much later? Right after 5 o'clock in front of the flagpole, like in school. Yeah, it was great. So then we get a scene. Roman's leaving work. George runs out after him, and he's like, "Hey, man, you can't just go around harassing people in the job. Like, the fuck you doing?" And Roman's like, "Look, you knew what this was, basically." And so he's like, "Look, like you gotta." He makes mention of his suit, like you gotta have a suit on, man. Like,
right, like this shit is unacceptable.
Like, my nigga, tailored. Do you know what that word means? Here's a number.
That's a trench coat.
He looks a mess.
It just looks like a goddamn trench coat.
Like, I really have a problem with what he's wearing in this movie. Look, that suit he had on the next day it's
not much work. It's not much better.
Yo, he looks like Joe Pesci from that scene from My Cousin Vinny. Like, yo, why are you wearing a maroon tuxedo? Like, come on, dog. And so he basically, this is where Roman says to George, he's like, "Look, I've been working on this document for the last 7 years that is going to change the way criminal justice is handled." And that's what's been in that big suitcase he's been carrying around. And he's like, "I need somebody with your power and expertise to get it to the next level, to actually get it submitted and everything else. But I'm just some guy. You have way more power, money, and influence. And so George is like, yeah, that's cool. Go get a new suit. Like, I don't give a fuck about this. You're crazy, nigga. You're insane. And it does seem like the ramblings of an insane person. So, I mean, he's not wrong. So then this is where we get into the plot.
Yeah.
These stupid plot.
40 minutes in.
Right. So
Movie's 2 hours long.
So the woman who came to the office that Roman was assigned to, her son is in prison because he went with his friends into a store. One of his friends shot the clerk in the store, robbing it, and then he was arrested, and now they're trying to give him like major time because if you're a part of that whole situation, then you get hit with that. So that's a warning to every black person listening. If you got friends who are shady as fuck and you're like, yo, let me carry a gun in your car while we go around the corner. No, don't do that shit. Don't do that. Because if they get busted, you get busted, whether you did anything or not.
I don't know any friends that have guns. I don't even give a fuck if you're licensed. The fuck out of my goddamn code. Like, nah, yeah. Nope. No.
I had a child.
I don't know if I'm going to get pulled over.
Look, I had a childhood friend that I hadn't seen in years, and my mom saw him at one point and was like in a store. She was like, "Yo, that nigga was in there to rob that place," and then saw me and just decided not to. She was like, "Don't you ever let him in your car, ever, ever." And she like that was one of those like, "Yo, I'm an adult" kind of thing, and she was like, this is not a conversation. Like, don't ever do that. And I was like,
wait, when was that? How long ago was that?
Like, I was in my 20s. My mom was like, don't you
29.
Yeah, right. It was last week. But she was like, no, don't ever do that. It's like, don't do that. And I was like, you right. You're right. Mm-mm. And you know what? We have remained childhood friends and not adult friends. Nah. Yo, give me a ride real quick. Nah,
I don't know you, bro.
There's some nigga in the neighborhood the other day. Yo, I'm late for my bus. Let me get a ride. And whatever direction he was getting ready to point, I already had in my mind. I was like, I'm going the opposite direction. And luckily it was true. I was going opposite. I was like, he was like, yo, I'm late for my bus. And I'm thinking to myself, nigga, buses come all the time. I'm late for work. Like, I'm going to work. You ain't going nowhere. You going to the liquor store. Like, nah, nigga.
Maybe he was late for his bus to work.
No, he wasn't. That nigga don't work. I ain't never seen that nigga carry a backpack, fucking anything.
He didn't have a shirt.
He don't got a shirt that matched nobody at anywhere. No. He's a drunk.
Oh, well,
Let me give me a ride. I'm like, nigga, I can smell the alcohol through the window that you're standing next to my car. You're not getting in here. No.
Oh, hell no. Nah.
Nigga, you stink. Like, get the fuck out of here.
No thanks.
He was like, I have a ride. No. Nah. Wherever I'm going, I got to be there 13 minutes ago. I'm not here to give you a ride. Nope. I don't like to help people. Not people I don't know. Nah, fuck that. So Roman goes and visits this woman's son in jail. Here's where the plot gets out fucking outrageous. So he meets this kid, and this kid is like, look, man, like, I didn't do it. I didn't shoot the clerk or whatever. And Roman's like, okay, I believe you. Like, no worries. And he's like, look, man, I know the guy who shot the clerk. I know where he's held up. He's a fugitive right now. And I know where he's held up. If I give you that information, then could you get me out of here? He's like, I'm ready to, he was like, I am ready to snitch like yesterday. Which, by the way, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Don't do crimes with me. That's why I don't do crime. Because I'm gonna rat your ass out. If you out and I'm in jail, oh, no. You go on to fucking prison. Fuck that. We can hang out together. So Roman's like, all right, cool. I'm going to talk to the state's attorney, I guess, and figure out what we can do. So he calls the state's attorney, and she's like, that's cool. No. We're not gonna let him out or like plead down.
She was like, all right, look, we'll do this, that, and the other. And Roman was like, well, that doesn't seem fair. It's like, this is my final offer. Well, sorry to bother you, Miss Fancy Pants, stupid bitch. Like, you. Well, people were sitting there off a blip.
He's like, I'm sorry to have taken like an iota of your time or some shit like that.
Right. Like, well, fuck you then, nigga. I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, she was just like, I don't give 2 fucks about whether or not this works out for you. She was like, I'll throw this little nigga in jail forever. Who cares?
Right. It ain't my kid. Like, she probably doesn't even see him as a human being, right? Like, it's
You're just a number.
Yeah, you just case number 01576.
Yeah. He's doing the no rose. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
You're not listening. You're not listening.
I got 2 strikes on me, 3 balls. Nigga, what are you talking about? Talking about baby. I'm telling you the best way I know how to take care of this kid. Who is this? Why are you calling here? So she's like, all right, nigga, bye. Click. She fucking hung up super hard. And it was funny because he was mad and he had to like fix his phone after he hung it up. He was like, God damn it. So yeah, that didn't work. And of course it gets out that he was trying to do a plea deal and dime out this guy, and that kid gets murdered.
How did it get out? Did she?
No, the kid was like, yo, he told somebody in prison. We later find out.
Yeah, he told
that Ellerby was like, yo, I'ma tell on this dude, and
you dummy.
Yeah,
right. And then from there, it just got out. It got back out.
Why would you do that? Shut the fuck up.
Because he's 17. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Like,
I guess.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Nah. Nope.
Tells his cellmate, like,
Yeah,
my cellmate.
Shit. Right.
Yeah. Like, if you my cellmate, like, that's it. That's it. I'd be like, look, nigga, this is what we doing. Like, other than that, just some random nigga in prison? Hell no.
Right.
Hey, Jamal, let me tell you what I'm about to do. You about to get stabbed, nigga. That's what you about to do.
Right, like,
get out of my face.
You really weren't thinking.
No, you really didn't contemplate how this was going to go down. So then we cut to a scene of Roman decides that he's going to go... Carmen Ejogo's character calls him up. Maya calls him up and was like, "Look, I want you to come and talk to these young kids at the SJW HQ and talk to them about some old fashioned protesting." And Denzel Washington's like, "Oh shit, let me put on my new threads. Let me put on my hot shit." And he's like, "Let me throw on this black turtleneck with this same broke ass jacket you've been wearing." He looks whack, man. Like, you just look whack. It's a goddamn shame. Like, goddamn, bro. Come on. Are you even trying? And so he's like, all right, cool. I'll come speak to these young folks. Now, this to me is one of the better scenes in the movie because it's one. He looks like a doofus. So he gives this like the stirring speech to these young kids. And he's like, look, man, you're going to be out there. You're going to be protesting. It's going to be great. But just realize the system is hard. They're going to fight against you, right? It's cool. And then he makes the mistake of he does the classic old guy shit. He's like, he stops in the middle of talking and he sees these 2 women like leaning up against a pillar. And he's like, hey, why the sister's standing and the brothers are sitting? And the 2 women are like, no, we good. Like, we can ask, like, it's 2000.
Yeah, it's 2017.
Like, we good, fam? And he's like, nah, like, that's fucked up. Like, y'all women have to speak up for yourselves. Like, yeah, nigga, we know. What the fuck? And so then he basically was like, he gets into a back and forth with them because they're seeing what he's saying. He's trying to be chivalrous, and they see it as being patronizing and sexist, which chivalry is based in. And then he has that little like back and forth where they're like, this is patronizing and sexist. And he goes,
like,
and polite. And they're like, and sexist and polite.
Like, polite. Like, okay.
I was like, don't do that.
Stop.
Just shut the fuck up. But this is the relic. This is the relic versus the new age of where we are, right? Like, I mean, I don't think any of us are on Denzel's level where we'd be like, y'all women need to speak up for yourselves when it's time to sit down. Like, don't.
Bitch, you better take this seat. What the fuck?
I'm doing it for you. Like, okay. But I do find, like, at least in my personal experience, like there is a dynamic that's very different between like my age group and younger kids. With like, I mean, like those girls were ready to fight on anything. Was he wrong? Yeah, he was absolutely wrong. But it's like, is it that serious that you had to like call this nigga an asshole and all this other shit? Right. Blow his whole shit up?
They went hard in the paint. I'm like, all right, cool. After the polite part, I'm like, all right, it's over. It's done. You don't have to sit down. I'm not getting in my seat. Nigga, I got here first.
I don't give up my seat when I'm on the subway. Nope.
I'll give it up.
I'll give it up
older
for an older
folks,
woman.
Older folks or a pregnant woman.
A pregnant woman, yes. A crippled person, yes. Older, maybe.
I'm talking about like I'm talking about in like their
nigga.
60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I'll give it up to them. Anybody else? Nah, fuck you.
Now, if you look functional, if you Denzel Washington functional in your 60s,
Like,
fuck that. You Stan Lee old, all right, nigga, you sit down.
If it looks like you're having a hard time standing.
Old people, I judge on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Pregnant people, all right, come on.
Yeah, girl, you got the keys to life.
Right. If you got a kid in a stroller and you are able-bodied, no, fuck that.
No, I let them sit.
The kid is sitting down. The kid is sitting down.
You like shit.
The kid is in the stroller.
What about that?
Is the mom pregnant with another child?
No, but what if she's tired?
No.
Being a mother is the hardest job in the world.
Okay. All right, I believe you. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be somebody's mother. Fine. If you able-bodied and that kid is it, like if the kid is standing, I'll let the kid sit down. Like, oh, you want to let your kid sit down? And I did that once. I said, you want to let your kid sit down? And then
they sat down and put the kid in his lap.
Then put the kid in the lap. And I was just like, fuck.
What you expect?
Touche.
Yeah, she got you.
Touche. You got me. But nah, if the kid's in a stroller.
This is on the subway?
Yeah.
Was this a Maryland subway?
Yeah, the DC Metro.
No. I thought it was the one going out to Baltimore County.
No.
You're like, sure, you
Ain't
can have
nobody
this
getting
seat.
up. Look, you can sit down if you want. If you want.
I wouldn't recommend it. That's a you got to pay for premium content for that. That was worth it. So okay, but I never understood in the modern era. I never understood being in a subway and letting a woman sit down who is also able-bodied. Just sorry, you're able-bodied. Your legs work.
No,
I don't do that shit.
yeah, me neither.
Sorry.
If
that makes me an asshole. Then
I don't think it makes you an asshole. I think it means that would a woman of also able-bodied let you sit down? No. They would be like, no, nigga, I'm here, and they have every right to do first. Yeah, I got here first. That's fine. But if you got like a bunch of bags, like it's all case by case. Like if you got a bunch of bags and shit, and you're like, you're fucking luggage and all.
Yeah.
All right, fine, go sit down. But
you want me to put one of them bags on my lap?
I got you, young sister. But no, like if you just got like a purse and your legs work, no, fuck off.
Hey, that's a case by case basis.
If you fine, I'll probably let you sit down though.
No, if you find, I want you. I want.
You're a creep.
Looking at eye
You're
level.
a creep, dude.
Yeah. Bring that hat down. For a second.
Like, why is he wearing sunglasses in the metro? I have no idea.
That's very bizarre.
Reflective sunglasses.
I stopped doing that shit when I was like.
You know why you do it, right? You know why you do it? You give up your seat when you're younger and you give up your seat to an able-bodied woman? It's because you think you're about to get some pussy. You think, wow, she's going to think I'm real chivalrous. Maybe we could strike up a conversation. I can get a number and then bam, I'm in there. Nah, nigga, you just giving up your seat.
Okay,
you making your feet hurt.
Okay, hold on a
I
second.
can honestly say that's never been something I thought of.
Oh, so it's just me?
Yeah, it was just you, my nigga. Like I was just like, yeah, you gotta have a seat because I was just taught to like.
No, it's
I
not.
was kind of. Oh, it's you too. Yeah, y'all some shiesty ass niggas. God damn.
No, it's
I
not.
just did it because I was kind of taught that. But then as I got older, I'm like, why the fuck am I giving up my motherfucking seat? She's a woman. She got fucking legs. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Right, we're all equals.
Yeah, we're all equals.
That's my whole. By the way, that's not my only thought every time I've given up a seat. Not like this scumbag, but No, I've certainly thought that, like, well, if I'm a really nice guy, then she'll just be like, here, take it. I'm like, that seems weird, but that never happens because that's not what reality is like.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. That's very weird.
Men think like that, ladies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look,
we're fucking idiots.
Right, men are stupid.
Yeah, if I hold this door open for her, maybe she'll show me a titty on the way in. I don't know. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, no, like, nigga, that's not gonna happen. That's crazy. Don't do that. But
I was always thinking in the real world. I never thought, hey, if I hold this door open, she's gonna give me some, or if I gave her a seat, she'd get like. Nah, I just did it because I was
like, you want to sit down, man? Like, yeah, let me sit on your lap, daddy. Like, whoa,
wow, okay, this is awesome. Don't call me daddy. That's creepy.
That's weird.
Please don't do that.
That did happen to me once. Man, like she just sat on my lap.
Did it work out?
I had a fine time.
I bet you did. Like sitting there sweating, like don't do it.
Like,
don't do
okay,
it.
that was bizarre, but I didn't.
She's like, oh, do you have your? Am I sitting on your cell phone? Sure. That's what that's what's happening. Meanwhile, you're like playing Candy Crush.
Years ago. Biggest cell phone in the world.
It's a weird shape. It's shaped like a Sony Ericsson, or was it a Nokia? You can't break it. Yeah, so he has that interaction, and I thought this was actually one of the better scenes in the movie, just because it really does show the dichotomy between sort of the fucking Cornell West age.
I think this is the only scene that showed that, to be honest with you.
Right, but showing that break between that and these new age kids.
I mean, this is like a giant leap too. Like he's back from like the 60s and the 70s. He's like 2012. Like,
right,
40-year difference.
But it is wildly true though, right? And I don't know if the director meant to like make this as a real point, but like it is wildly true that like if you're looking at like social justice now and then, it is way more compartmentalized, like or like just chopped up, right? You know, women of color are trying to forge their own way in the social justice arena, which I think is really important. But they are not trusting for fucking good reason, by the way, of like men who try to come into that arena and like, hey, I'm trying to help. And they're like,
yeah, or white women.
Right? So like back in the 70s, and granted, it was, you know, it wasn't like black folks were like, oh, white people are here. Great. They were just like, I don't know. Can you dance? Like, let's just slow down. But it does, at least I guess, historically for our perspective, it felt like people were, when you were on the social justice train, you were just on the social justice train. And you know, that's coming from watching like selective videos and images and stuff like that. But it felt like everybody was kind of there. But now it feels so segmented. Factions, and it's really weird. And then they like interfight. I'm like, aren't y'all trying to do the same shit? Like, nah, but not on Tuesdays. You're like, that's weird.
It's because people only care about themselves, and when you
think that's happening more over time?
Oh, absolutely. People only care about themselves, and people see themselves in other people who look like them, so they want to help other people. They want to help their own causes, right?
Right.
Like that's why you like even like celebrities, right? Like, oh, well, I'm going to donate to the Multiple Sclerosis Society. Why? Because I know someone in my family with multiple sclerosis. Not because you want to do it, not because necessarily you feel like you should help this particular charity. People are very self-centered, man. And
that's a good point.
I mean, I got to imagine that back then in Cornell J. Israel's time, like people would. Like it was more of a community feeling, right? Like because you couldn't be isolated. Like technology didn't isolate you as much as
that's a good point,
now,
actually.
You know what I mean? But now people can literally get any narrative they want to fit their preconceived notion and swear up and down that they're right.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like I see like I will see two factions of the same ultimate goal fighting with each other, which I never understand. Like there are people who are what's the light-skinned black dude, Sean something?
Sean King.
Sean King. Like I will see people like yeah, this guy is like super, you know, woke and all this other stuff. I like him or whatever. And they ride for him. And then there's other people who are like, fuck this dude. And then they're like, Jesse Williams, like those same people are like, yeah, Jesse Williams is our guy. He's the light-skinned hero that we need. And I'm like, but you guys are fighting for the same thing, but because like they'll have some disagreement about something, or something will come out like what I would argue are in the grand scheme of like the struggle to give black people freedom and liberation are minor issues, super minor issues. And like, they'll be like, fuck him forever. And then like this other guy, and I'm like, but your goals are the same. And like, you can literally watch the two of those people arguing the same exact points, but the people under them hate each other for some fucking reason. It's bizarre to me.
That's one thing about Republicans and conservatives that I will give them credit for. When it's time to unite, like they fucking unite.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how terrible the cause is. Are we doing this? Are we not letting women get abortions? Fine.
Right.
Fuck it.
There was
Nothing.
17
None
motherfuckers running for president on the Republican side. And once all of them hated the current guy, but when the current guy was the one to come out of that battle royale, they all said, all right, fuck it. Bam, we will form like Voltron and support this dude. But we can't do that shit.
Well, what they say is Republicans fall in line, Democrats fall in love. Right? We have to fall in love with the candidate. Oh, Barack Obama. Like, they have to fall in love with him in order to support him.
Yeah,
but Republicans are like, what color's your tie? Red? All right, nigga, let's roll.
We want to win.
Let's all get behind each other and go for the fucking end zone.
God damn, man.
And look, there are pros and cons to both of those, right?
Yeah.
Like, because if you just support the guy who's wearing your fucking team jersey, like anything he does, you're like, nah, but he got the team jersey on, right? Like, so it's hard to get them to break away from somebody if he's got that fucking jersey on. Democrats, on the other hand, you fuck up. They're like,
fuck you forever.
Fuck you forever. I'm out. Motherfuckers still making the arguments about Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders now. Nigga, we're getting ready to go into the next fucking presidential election in a couple years. Shut the fuck up. Get together. They still fighting over this shit.
That's fucking stupid.
That to me is stupid, but that to me is really what you're seeing in the scene. Yeah. It's like, you're both fighting for the same thing.
Right. You're both there at SJWHQ because you want the same thing.
Like, nah, but he asked me to sit down. Or he didn't ask me to sit down. He asked why somebody didn't offer me a seat. So fuck this nigga. Like, really? Come on, yo. And at the same time, he's not really hearing them when they're like, don't do that. Like, he's like, this is the way it's going to be. This is the way you got to be. Like, that can't be your answer either. Like, he's not 100% right or 100% wrong. And that's the biggest fucking problem on the left. Everyone wants to be 100% right. Sorry, if you hate Sean King, you're not 100% right. That guy is not that bad of a guy. If you hate Jesse Williams for some fucking odd reason, you're not 100% right. How about we all shut the fuck up and try to work together?
Or we hate Jesse Williams because he divorced his black wife.
Yo, come on, yo. Come on, yo.
That's it, right?
That was one of the reasons a lot of people don't fuck with him now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What, black people don't get divorced? Oh, well, he's got a white mother. Nigga, what? Did he pick his mom in heaven? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, he didn't pick what color he was going to be when he came out?
I don't understand people anymore.
But like that break, that segmentation that we see, especially on the left, is wild. It makes no sense.
I see the shit every day.
Niggas will go ham on the dumbest shit. Like, well, I think, women are equal. And they're like, how equal, nigga? How equal? Like, wait, what? Like, 50%. No, nigga, it's 51 to 49. You're like, all right, no, fuck you forever. All right, yo, all right. What are we arguing about, yo? What are we arguing about? Like, shit doesn't make any sense.
The internet is a trip.
Yeah. And I think your point that it's technology is actually a really sound one. I didn't think about that. It does literally allow you to live in your world and never have to deal with anybody else.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm sure that the young kids in this scene are very much like that, and he's very much like that because he's anti-technology, right? Yeah. Which is the other part. There's all the segments in the technology part, and then the people who don't read any of that shit. Yeah. So they're all in the same block.
And he doesn't interact with people, so he doesn't really know. He isolates himself not because of technology. He just isolates himself because he wants to.
Right. Well, just because of his mental,
because of whatever his mental issues have. But like they can isolate themselves because they have all the technology in the world to see the world through their phone. He don't see the world. Just Period.
Yeah.
He's in his house eating peanut butter and honey sandwiches all day and calling the cops on the fucking construction workers across the street at 7 o'clock. Like, look, I'd be calling the cops on the niggas too. Like, yo, it's 7 o'clock. Y'all got to stop. I'm tired.
Trying to watch TV, dog. Come on now. But it is kind of funny. Yeah, it's like he stopped learning in like 1975. Like he stopped learning how to dress in 1975. Like seriously, he is frozen in time. It's wild. Like I just thought this scene was really good. But your point about technology was actually really sound. I was very surprised to hear that coming from you. I was shocked as anyone, really. So he's got nothing good to say. So then there's a really hilarious scene that after Denzel walks out, Maya goes and like stops him on the street and she's like, "Look, I'm really sorry about what happened. It's fucked up. Because she actually says, I told you sometimes they're like that." Yeah. Like, and which even she's like, "Look, these bitches is wilding. Like, just don't say anything to them about chairs. They have a real problem with it." So then like they meet up outside and they're talking and they see this guy who's like laying down on the ground and they're like, "Oh shit, I think he's dead." And they're checking on him, like, and all this other shit. And these two cops pull up. Look, I'd have ran. Like, nah, nigga, I ain't do it.
Yeah, nigga, that's how you get shot.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I'd be like, I didn't do it.
Right.
Hands up, don't shoot. Like,
yeah, right. I'm like, look, my hands are right where you can see them.
Oh, I thought they were gonna just pull guns immediately.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, that
looks like that's a very suspicious situation right there. You got two people leaning over a supposedly dead guy.
Yeah.
Nah.
And that white cop, she was like, I can't wait to beat the brakes off this dude with a billy club. Woo, can't wait. Training my whole life for this shit. And also that white cop, he looks like he fucking does steroids and just screams at posters of black people. Like, nah, fuck that. And so they're like, "Oh, he's dead." And they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just some guy, whatever." And then he puts his card in the guy's pocket, and they're like, "No, take it out." And he's like, "Oh, I don't want him to fall through the system and all this other shit." And he's like, "I want to pay for the funeral." And the cops were like, "Yo, we will kill you here and throw you off this bridge. Like, and no one will ever find you. Like, don't fuck around." And the guy gets up because he actually wasn't dead. He was just homeless and crazy, and just gets up and walks off. And so the cops are like, "All right, we're gonna have to kill no niggas tonight."
I wouldn't have touched that body.
Fuck no. You crazy?
I'd have crossed the goddamn street.
I would have called the police. I think there's a dead person here. I ain't touching him because you're not getting my fingerprints on a goddamn thing. I'm not pleading out for 5 years on some shit I didn't do.
Right.
I watched the beginning of this dumbass movie. So then Carmen Ejogo's character leaves, and she's like, "Wow, that was just super brave. I can't believe you would do something like that." And then doofus Denzel walks home.
Right. She's like, "Wow, I think I'm falling for you, Grandpa." And then Denzel fucking rolls out.
Do you think she was falling for him?
Yeah, I do.
Mm.
Yeah. But in my like weird binary world, like men and women don't go to dinner together as friends.
You've never been to dinner with a woman as a friend?
I've never had a platonic female friend outside of like your wife.
Nigga, y'all ain't friends. The fuck out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, y'all? You really think you're friends with my wife? Nah, nigga. I'm just so good. Don't even talk to my wife when you go upstairs.
Yo, that's fucking funny. But really?
Yeah. You've never had a platonic female friend?
Nope.
You're a scumbag.
Women don't like me, yo.
No, that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense.
Plus, I know me. I know that.
I want to get arrested.
Oh, I know
because this is fucking weird.
I know that sometimes I say things that are inappropriate.
What are you, Roman J. Israel?
No, this movie is about Micah.
And I know that it's probably not a good thing for me to, like, the shit I say here, I wouldn't say in front of my wife's friends. Not necessarily.
Oh, I would.
Just because they might not get my humor.
Well, they're a little bit more
uppity.
Okay. they're a little bit more conservative. They're not conservative, but they're a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, see, my wife's friends are. They would be right at the SJW HQ yelling at old ass Denzel about making him take a seat. Like, nah, fuck that nigga. Really?
That's strange.
I don't have to. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
too
funny.
many women that are just like, hey, you want to hang out? But I don't really hang out with anybody. Like, I don't hang out with you.
Good nigga, fuck you.
Like, I don't hang out a lot, but I've been to dinner with like female friends.
No,
not expecting to have sex with them.
No.
It's fucking weird, dude.
That's fucking strange.
Pence.
I mean, I wouldn't have.
Like, mother would not approve of this.
Mother would not approve. Of me
I wouldn't have a problem with it, but
that's really weird. I didn't know that you had no female platonic friends.
None I can think of.
I have a few.
Is that by choice?
No, women just don't like me.
Again, I get that. I get it.
I'm trying to. I don't.
Wow,
know.
you're just a sad doofus. Like,
I guess so.
I'm trying to think. I've never.
The closest I can think of was the girl that you and I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest one that I can think of. And we didn't hang out.
Yeah.
We saw each other at work.
Right. Huh.
That's really weird. I've always had like one or two female platonic friends, just because I would, especially when I was single, just because bounce advice off.
Yes, probably why.
Like, tell me how to get into this other girl's pants. Sometimes you need the inside dope.
Yeah,
that's
Would
true.
you fall for this lie? No? Okay.
So yeah, if
I'll
you're a
try
woman
to-
out there, be my friend.
Maybe that's why you don't have any. Because you're a fucking weirdo.
Be my friend, please. I'm good.
It's okay. It's okay. I have enough friends.
That's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, minus at this point, all of my friends are dudes. Yeah. Well, I think I'm sure this is true for women too. Like, I mean, there is that like potential sexual like conflict that can happen in situations like that. But at the same time, like, guys speak better than women do. And there are some women who just totally understand, like, oh, yeah, guys just got legs and I get it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I think women, like, and I don't mean like, oh, I'm having my period. I don't mean stupid shit like that. I mean, like, there's just ways that men and women interact that I think just like fundamentally, like, the three of us off camera talk not too dissimilar to how we talk on camera, by the way, but just worse. We're just far worse. But we talk about things in a different, like, it's a very specific way in which we talk to each other. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We're just kind of dicks.
And people just kind of like me.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I ain't gonna lie. I don't fucking know why that happens. I really don't. It's not like it's very strange.
I keep a very select group of people. Very select.
At work, I don't even fuck with people at work. And hey, like, fuck away from me.
You know why? They want to be friends with you just in case some shit pops off.
Yeah, you feel like you seem like an office shooter.
I wasn't saying that. I
feel like if there's anybody in that office, like, Terrence look like he come in here and start, like, maybe not shooting, but Terrence might come in here and body slam a couple people on his last day. I want to be on the good side.
I was more of, if an office shooter comes in, Terrence would be the one to come and protect me type of thing.
I was like, I don't get that impression.
I would get up and up in front of the building and be like, if an office shooter comes in here, I am running in the opposite direction. I mean, you niggas can follow me. I'm pretty fast. Just follow me and you'll probably make it out alive. I'm not jumping in front of bullets for you niggas. Fuck.
Terrence is going to protect you. I was like, I don't get that impression at all. No. Terrence strikes it.
Like shooting.
No. No, I get that Terrence knows the quickest way to the local exit. Like,
yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
that I can absolutely
we're on the third floor too. I can run really fast. Get down them steps. There's like 3 or 4 different doors to go out of too. I know exactly how to get out of there. Like, nah, that ain't the reason. At all. I don't come across as the protector.
Nope.
Protect my goddamn self.
Protect your own neck. That's that.
No, it's just. I just know how to talk to people somehow.
And I don't. Like, I just don't know how to talk to people.
That's interesting. Yeah, you're a pretty shy person.
Yeah, me too. I'm fucking super shy.
Yeah, you are.
But
I am not.
If the conversation is sparked, then yeah, I know how to talk to you. I'm not
Incapable.
Inept socially.
Yeah, I'm not a socially inept person. I don't know where the fuck I got it from though. I have no idea.
Is your mom's not a super quiet person?
No, yeah, not anymore.
Oh, she
used to be.
She on the edge of old and black.
She's like 53 now, and she's getting up there where she's like, she don't give a fuck. She'll just say what's on her goddamn mind. I'm like, where the fuck this come from? Like, it's always been there. I just was quiet. Now she's like, fuck you, nigga. In those words.
Yeah. Look, time is like
fuck you. Like she has the mouth of a sailor.
I do believe.
That's where I get it from.
Nothing wrong with it.
Get it from my parents.
I learned it from my mama.
Yeah. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, no, I don't ever shut up. That's part of my problem.
Yeah, I was waiting for the line.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are you about to say?
No, I will 100%. Like 9 times out of 10, I get myself in trouble because I say what is exactly happening in my head, which normally is something that does not go over well. Like,
so you have some Roman tendencies then.
I do. Sometimes I do it on here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I'm surprised you still haven't gotten a letter for that fucking Aziz Ansari rant.
We don't need to bring it up by name.
That shit was pretty funny.
Oh, but you know what I did get? I did not get any letters about it, but I did get several. I agree with you from women. Just saying. Anyway.
Well, we had that. There was a very, very long.
Oh no. Yeah, we had a long conversation in the thread.
Group, yeah.
No, people sent me messages. Women sent messages like, "No, nigga, I agree with you." I was like, I only need one. But I guess they hate women too.
Yeah,
anyway,
they do.
That's how it works. Difference of opinion.
White women.
No, they were black, both of them. So then the second in command guy at the law firm, the Latino dude who Roman insulted earlier, who was about to square up, he goes into Roman's office and he's like, "Hey, bring your maroon suited ass into George's office. We got to talk." And then that's when they inform him that kid in jail got murdered because he didn't go to either one of them about the plea deal that he fucked up. So now shit's all fucked up. By the way, we didn't mention, because this is a part of the plot, is that the Armenian community raised $100,000 to find the guy who shot the clerk because he was Armenian. So that's just a part of it. So they're, of course, like pretty pissed off at him that he basically got this kid killed. Then skipping forward a bit. So we find out, like, Roman goes to see William in the hospital. William is now in a coma. Like, we never hear a word from William, by the way, which I thought was kind of interesting.
There's just a big black dude lying in the back.
That's all he was.
Who played William? Is he even?
I don't think he has a. I don't think
even build.
I doubt
Let's see.
Nope, he's not building the movie at all. That's funny. So then we see Roman picks up the phone, goes to a payphone, and calls the people about the reward, and he basically says like, "Hey, I know where to pick up this guy who shot this clerk. I'm gonna need you to give me $100,000." And they're like, "All right, fine." And he's like, "Look, I need it cash, and I have a way that you can get it to me, keeping my identity anonymous." So they're like, "All right, fine. Tell us who it is, and if this person is arrested, if this leads to an arrest, then you get the $100,000." So Roman tells them. They eventually deliver the $100,000. Now, obviously, it is super corrupt to be a lawyer and collect the money.
To use privileged information to collect on this reward. Yeah, like what the fuck?
That shit is super unacceptable. So Roman now with $100,000 cash, he decides like he's gonna.
He don't trust the banks because he's a nigga.
Well, no, he can't.
I know he can't dump $100,000 in there. I just like to think that this nigga is real old school and just refuses to put his money in a bank. Just put it under the matmattress.
No, put it in a book.
He knows it'll be silly.
No. Put it in a book bag in the oven that he don't ever use. Because you don't need heat to make a peanut butter and honey sandwich. That's all he eats. So Roman decides he's going to put on his cleanest daishiki and take a weekend trip down to the ocean and spend some of his money. He's going to go get some maple turkey bacon donuts.
Didn't he say he wanted 4 of them?
Yeah.
Yo, that's why you look the way you look. 4? And they're like the specialty donuts, so they're like this big, fucking big, yo. Yeah.
They look delicious, though.
They did look delicious.
I would have let me get like 2 of those.
Yeah. There's what's that crazy donut place that you were talking about the other day?
Duck Donuts.
Yeah, I just found one right near my job.
Over here?
Yeah, it's in Whitemarsh.
Wow. All right.
Duck Donuts.
I've never been there, but apparently they're like the shit.
Get the bacon, it's like a maple turkey bacon donut. Get the donut with the bacon on it. It's really good.
Yeah. How many of those you have in one sitting?
One because it's like, and then eat it like throughout the day. You talk about diabetes, yo. I could not eat that thing in one sitting.
Did you get tired immediately after eating it?
I ate like a quarter of it. I'm just like, yo, this is good, but it's too much sugar, yo. Like
that's how you know you're getting old, by the way.
It's too
like
much,
a young kid be like, woo, this is great.
Nope.
Old people are like, yo, I need
some water.
I need water.
I need a little something, a cup of coffee, a little bitter to interact with the sweet.
Yeah.
So Denzel Washington's character decides that he's going to go and get diabetes. Getting 4 of these crazy donuts at the beach, and basically he's decided he's gonna enjoy his life, and he's like, oh, how much is this? And the guy's like, oh, it's $12. He's like, can you break 100? And the guy's like, yeah. And then he's like, just keep the change. No.
Nah,
that's how.
See,
you can tell that nigga ain't never had money.
Yep. Hell no. It's like, I'm gonna give you a $88 tip. No, I'm not. Like, get out of here. Those donuts do look delicious, though. I'm not gonna lie.
What's that place called? Duck what now?
Duck Donuts.
Where's that?
Whitemarsh. Right over by the Best Buy and stuff over there.
Okay.
So he then goes into a store, buys a pair of swim trunks, and then he's like, you know what? Let me buy a suit. You know what? Suits. And look at this sex symbol. Look at this former sex symbol out of his days of glory. God damn, Denzel, what the fuck happened, dog? And so he goes buy some suits and some new threads, and then he rents a hotel room like right on the beach, fucking balling out. Like, yo, you should have paid for a high class prostitute, dog. Like the whole weekend. And I mean, I don't think Denzel Washington's character's ever had sex, right?
I mean,
maybe back in the 60s.
Nah, well, maybe. He probably doesn't like to be touched. That's why his suits are so big. So then he goes out in the ocean. He's kind of enjoying himself. It looks like he's like afraid of it. Yo, that's the most Denzel looking scene I've ever seen in my life. Oh, he's an old man now, dude. That's so sad.
I mean, that's the realest shit in this movie to me.
Yo,
what
happened to that?
I don't trust this water.
Yo.
How the mighty Quinn has fallen. God damn.
This scene is fucking hilarious.
So he goes on the ocean, and so it's just basically about him actually enjoying himself for the first time in his life, allowing himself to enjoy the world. So then, like, he comes back. Yo, he's got on like new tennis shoes. Like, look at this fucking look when he gets out of this.
He's got like skinny jeans with tennis shoes.
My nigga stepped out looking fresh as shit. I was like,
with a leather jacket.
Yo, look at this fucking outfit. Holy shit. So yeah, it's he's got a new pair of headphones, the leather jacket. Nigga's LA. It's like 85 degrees. He's got the skinny jeans on, the new sunglasses that kind of look like his old glasses.
I think they were just the sunglass frames over top of his glasses.
Oh, really?
What kind of sneakers does he have on?
I don't know. Those things are kind of hot though. I'm not gonna lie. They're actually kind of dope. But look at Denzel.
Big ass fucking headphones. You need some earbuds, nigga. Like, come on.
Oh shit, he looks hilarious. So yeah, he comes back and he's enjoying life. And he goes to get a new apartment, and like the woman showing to him is like, oh, if you lived here, you'd be home by now. I was like, all right, lady, I've seen the ads before. Thank you. Calm down.
100,000. He getting a brand new apartment in LA. How long is that gonna last?
Shit. 6 months?
That's what I was saying when I'm like, okay, you get a new apartment. I get it.
Well, it's been supplemented by his job, right? Like he's still.
But how much is he getting paid at this job?
He's got to be getting paid a lot, right? Like he has.
They said they said this is where the $500 comes in. They were going to bill him out at $500 an hour and pay him half that. So he was getting paid $250 an hour.
Damn.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
No, it's not.
That is.
How much am I making a day?
A lot less than that. I can guarantee.
No, I'm talking about. He says $250 an hour. How much do I make in a day? I'm trying to even think how much I make. Maybe slightly more than that. I don't even know. But that's yeah. Okay, he's getting paid a lot of fucking money.
Right.
$250 an hour.
$250 an hour. So every 2 hours, that's $500. Yeah, that's what, $2,000. $2,000 a day.
$2,000 a day.
Yo, I'd have moved the fuck out as soon as I got that goddamn job. I'd be like, yeah, let me get this apartment.
But not only that, $2,000 a day, right? Like over the course of a week. Then you have $100,000 to just blow on bullshit.
Yeah, $10,000 a month, a week.
Yeah, and pay a pay period. So he probably clears $7,000 a week.
That makes my heart hurt.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine actually making $28,000 a month?
No.
See,
I cannot.
Because I'm bad at calculating.
28 times 12. What's 28 times 10? 280,000. Add another. What is that? Wait, how many? 28,000 a month? You said
28,000 a month.
28 times 10, 280. Another 28. That's 300,000.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Like
$336,000 a year.
Yeah. Yo, that's a.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, yo.
You didn't have to steal $100,000.
Like, what are you doing, yo?
Again, this plot doesn't make sense.
What the fuck was he gonna do with the money?
Yo, that's a lot of maple bacon donuts, my guy.
Because towards the end of the movie, well, we're getting towards the end of the movie. The guy's like, "Yeah, I heard you moving to an apartment," and he's like, "Yeah, I had money saved up." I'm like, nah, nigga, you paying me enough money so I can actually move to this apartment,
right?
Yeah, how expensive could this apartment possibly be?
Yeah, like if I'm getting paid that much money a fucking week,
you know he wasn't making that nickel and dime law firm he was at.
No.
Look, I will not lie. I am a super liberal person. Yo, you start paying me $336,000, I'd be like, yo, these taxes need to be lowered. Like, yo, what are you doing? Yo,
right.
I'm on some new shit.
New tax bracket. Who this?
Nah.
I can't.
Yeah, y'all broke boys out here talking about social justice, nigga. Everything seems
I hate
fine.
the taxes they take out of my shit now, and I don't make no money.
Right.
I'll be like, yo, nigga, what the fuck? Like, I don't make that much money for you to be taking out like damn $700 a month out of my paycheck. That's crazy to me. But
you know what? I don't even look anymore. I don't want to know. Just tell me what the amount of money I get to walk home with.
Right.
That's it. Because if I look, because mine is like a digital pay stub, I don't even want to know.
I did that. I made the mistake of doing that one time. I have a digital pay stub also, and I made the mistake of looking at it.
No, you just get mad.
And I got real fucking
when
mad.
I saw it, I looked at it, and I'm like, yo, that's unfair, yo.
It's unfair.
Like, I don't make that kind of money for you to be taking that much out of my fucking check, dog.
Meanwhile, Roman J. Israel is
literally
like,
take rent out of my check every fucking week. Like, what the fuck, dog?
Yeah. Meanwhile,
She
Roman
makes
J.
you-
Israel is like, this is great.
It's upsetting.
Indeed. So he gets the apartment, and again, he's planning to move out, and so he's looking at all these images around his apartment of like about social justice and these like famous people and like who've railed against the rich and the privileged and stuff like that, and he's sort of having this come to Jesus meeting with himself about kind of becoming that, but at the same time, this shit is great. I mean, that is a hard line to run, like that you want to focus on being this good person, but you also want to enjoy things in life.
Right.
Like, look, I'm a bougie ass fucking person. That is true. And it is like, what, I'm not?
I mean,
I'm
like,
surprised you admitted it.
I'm not even
Dog,
surprised
what are
to
you talking
admit it. It's like multiplying. It's like writing out 5 times 1 equals 5. What the fuck is the point of the times 1? It's understood.
That's fair. But I don't think the people who listen to solely this show might not realize the level of
Oh yeah, this nigga's bougie as shit.
Yeah, I am super bougie.
He railed on people for not drinking coffee out of a French press.
That's true.
What the fuck? I don't know what a French press is.
I mean, it's what made this coffee right here.
Nigga.
Well, look, if you drink it out of a drip machine, you're an animal. It's like, it's not my fault.
Damn.
It tastes like garbage. It tastes like your coffee tastes like garbage. Stop drinking it from a drip. Do you just pour water over a tea leaf and that's how you get tea? No, you steep it. That's what you do with French press. Come on.
I rest my case.
Just saying. Anyway, these two niggas bought sous vides after I convinced the two of you to do it. So I don't want to hear it. You guys might not be. You are bougie adjacent.
I don't know.
no, I thought
you
bought it
You
from
bought mine.
Nigga, you were gonna buy one anyway.
Were you?
Look.
No.
no,
gotta
he's cheap.
spend my
Yeah,
money.
he's cheap. He's bougie, but he's cheap, but he's bougie. Get out of here.
I ain't that bougie.
He's like, look,
I use my sous vide quite a bit.
okay,
it's great.
you own one. You bought one.
I did.
No one bought it for you.
I did buy it.
And I believe it was after
And I
I sent you a
enjoy it.
message like, yo, they're on sale. And you were like, oh shit. And you
I
bought
think
it.
I paid like $180 for mine.
No, I don't think you did. Did
I
you?
did. Mhm. Now it's like 120. The one that I
You
bought.
bought one for 100.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, so
Yeah, it's awesome though.
but like I suffer from the idea of like I want a certain lifestyle, but I also rail against like just unfairness in the tax codes and stuff like that. Like I think those things are fucked up. But at the same time, like I don't live next to these niggas all the time. Fuck that. Like I don't. Sorry. Like, but I also want to live in a place where my people are. I'm like, I just want to live where like people who look like me have more. Like I'm sorry. That's not about money. That's about certain
It's about
place.
class.
Yeah, it's about class, right? I'm better.
And their lack of it.
Right. Some would say they're in the under version, if you. No, I'm kidding. But like, it is. Yeah, it was funny. My wife was trying to relay a story to me the other day, and I gave her such a fucking hard time just because of the way it came out. Because she used to work at this one job that was like in this in the middle of the city. You know where she used to work, and now she works this other place that's just like kind of in a neighborhood, right? And her drive to the previous job was like through the city, and just like always people like asking for money and all this other stuff on corners and stuff. And now she just drives to this like nice neighborhood and goes to her job. And she was like, yeah, it's really great, driving in the morning. Like I can stop by the lake. Sometimes I take pictures and stuff like that. And she was like, it's so nice to not have to deal with people like begging for money. I was like, oh, so is it really great that you don't have to deal with poor people on your way to work? She was like, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, well, that's what it sounds like. I just get to stop at the lake. It's really great. Oh my God. Like I was like,
Really? Is it?
yeah, I was like,
now?
so you just don't have to deal with the rabble because they're begging you for money. They're banging on your car window, screaming for your help.
Oh, you married a soulmate.
I mean, yeah, no, it's great. I have to drive through the hood.
Wonderful when people find things in common. Oh, you don't have to deal with the rabble.
Trust me, I would love if that was my commute. It'd be great. Although nobody ever really begs me for money. Not on my commute.
$5 to work. Ain't nobody begging for money on the 695 to
You
do the
can.
fucking hit. You can try if you want.
Like, hey, hold on. All right. Wait for me. So then it's just like there is more of Roman sort of enjoying himself as this rich dude. He calls Maya up and he's like, hey, why don't we do dinner?
Calls him.
Or Maya calls him and is like, hey, can we go out to dinner? And he's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, he gets.
He was like, well, I mean, I can tonight or tomorrow. Oh, okay, tomorrow's fine. I mean, tonight worked too, but tomorrow's fine.
He was like, gives me a little bit of time to get this conch permit. And he's like, so he takes her to this like super fancy dinner.
Fancy.
Huh?
Shea Fancy.
Shea Fancy. This is a situation Micah does not understand because he would be trying to sleep with this woman.
Yes. Yes, I would.
I mean, yeah.
And she's like British in real life.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Didn't know that. Yeah, hitting on all cylinders, I see. So then at the dinner, Maya is like, oh, you really inspire me. And she gives this like really beautiful speech. And Roman's response is, I would have imagined Duck à l'orange to be different. It's like, wow, dude, you're really on the spectrum. He does not listen to anything she said. And then also you could tell Roman is not used to any money because he doesn't let someone put the plate down for him. He grabs it out of there. He's like, no, I got it. Like, no, they got it. That's their job. To serve you. And so Roman says, look, you need to, she like starts crying because she's like so inspired. And he's like, oh, maybe you need to look at the world differently because purity can't last in this world. The world is too barren, which is a really telling line, I thought. Like, here's a guy who sacrificed all of his life away. No kids, no wife. I don't know that he could have gotten one. Anyway, but none of that, no fun in his life, always dedicated to one purpose. And then he gets this money and then he's like, oh, now I get to see what the other side is like. And that's sort of the dynamic, right? That's
right.
like
This is him falling into the trap of the sleazy lawyer.
Yeah, he's becoming George Pierce.
Money, right?
I mean, again, you give me $336,000 a year.
I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah, like, oh, I remember when Jay used to only buy T-shirts from Target. Well, now, nigga, I don't. Sorry.
I'm still buying T-shirts from Target.
No, that's not the only place. But sometimes they have nice T-shirts. I'm just saying. But like, not. I mean, people say, "Oh, money wouldn't change me." Yes, it would. It would. If someone gave you $1 million, like, or $1 million a year, please.
Yeah, if you had to earn like more money than what you get, yeah, I think it would change. If someone gave you $1 million, just like, here's $1 million, no, you would not change. You would blow that fucking money and then you would be back to where you are.
Yeah, that's probably actually true. That's true.
But if you had a job that was like, all right, we want you to keep doing what you're doing, maybe a little bit more work, but we're gonna give you double pay, you're gonna change and you're gonna feel a certain way. You're gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would. And look, I would hope that those changes would be positive, but
no, probably not.
Human history says probably not. No, man, you can't. Rarely do people become good, become incredibly wealthy, and stay good. Very rarely. Or just like, you don't even have to be bad to people. Just like, I don't give a fuck about y'all.
Yeah, you become selfish. The inner selfish demon comes out.
Yeah. Terrence, how shitty of a person would you truly become if you had Jeff Bezos' landscape money?
It is levels. If I had his kind of money,
I feel like you don't have to give a fuck about anything.
you don't. You really don't.
Nobody can tell you anything at that point.
Can't tell me nothing. But I don't know what I would do. That's the thing. I have no fucking clue what I would do with that kind of money.
I feel like I'd get bored
Yeah.
after a while. I'd travel.
I would I would probably go, I would travel to everywhere but Australia. Because there's way too many spiders in Australia.
That's fair.
And
You could just go to like Sydney and be like,
I
this
feel
is
like
beautiful.
The
And
spiders
then
are still there. I would like, I fly over. Be like, that looks like a very pretty city. And like, it's beautiful landscape. I don't need to step foot on that motherfucker. Because I feel like as soon as I step foot in Australia, something's gonna bite me.
That's probably true. I think that's something that's in the brochure.
It's like, watch your feet, nigga. It's like the last line of the brochure. I couldn't.
Keep your head on.
But yeah, I would just travel. I fucking would probably just start giving money away to like good decent charities. Because what the fuck do I need all that money for?
I don't need $116 billion.
I don't need any. Like, you can fix the economy with that fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, somehow get the current jackasses in office out of office.
That's what I would do. I would spend my money.
You rail on keeping money out of politics?
No, but I'm there.
Yeah, my money.
My money is different.
For good.
I'm different.
Right.
No, I would use it to. That's what I would use it to do. I would use it to get people out of office, get people in office who want to get money out of politics, and then I would retire.
It's like, I'm going to get you in there, but I ain't giving you money to do it.
No, once you get in, you have one job. I'm going to give you enough money until you get this job done, and you got 1 year to get it done, get money out of politics, and then I'm out.
Yeah, because in its current state, you need money.
You have to have it.
But then hopefully those right people will get in there and you can pull it
I
out.
would just move and wait for America to blow itself up.
See, don't give this nigga not a goddamn
Come back once America is regentrified. Like
regentrified?
all of it.
With who?
With people like me.
So you ain't never coming back then?
No.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, what the fuck? That ain't gonna work out.
Nope.
Well.
Anyway.
Nah.
Again, I'd probably just start giving my money away to like
Easter seals.
What the fuck is that?
They help kids with like illnesses.
Exactly.
Oh.
I don't know what the fuck charity this is because it doesn't affect me directly.
Yeah, I don't have kids with diseases. I don't fucking know. But I mean, Easter seals has been around for a long time, right? They got to be good.
Like, what have they done?
they deal with disabilities.
Okay.
All right, where are we at in this movie?
There's a funeral. Somebody died. William died.
We're at the funeral now. We're at 2 hours, so I'm just gonna kind of try and blaze through this. They go to dinner, right? And it's very nice, and it's very like he's very awkward, right?
You know what? Forget this. We already got past the purity thing, and that's what he was already telling her. So back at the jail, Roman has to now defend. He finds out that he has to defend the guy that he dimed out.
Yeah, he's got to defend the guy that actually did the shooting.
Right.
And he's like,
and that dude knows that Roman did it.
That actor seems really familiar. Do you guys recognize him?
I do not. What is his name?
Oh, I don't remember. Marcus Jones. Joseph David Jones. He was in something else. He was in Detroit.
Was he? Who did he play?
As Morris. I feel like that's not what I know him from, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. That's weird. He was on Green Arrow. He was John Diggle Jr. Okay.
How?
In the future. There's a episode.
Okay.
So that guy basically calls him out, and he's like, look, man, I know you got the money, and I could get to you anytime I want.
And I just brought you here to prove it to you.
Yeah. And then he does the fucking thing. He's like, guard. He's like, y'all wildin', dog. And so he immediately gets up. Like, y'all tripping. So they get out of there. Then you find out.
Then Roman is like, oh shit, what have I done? And he sheds his phony baloney lawyer uniform, the suit for the regular fucking the tweed tent that he's wearing. And he fucking blows his hair back out and he grabs his tracheotomy thing to cover up the tracheotomy scar. And then he goes on Bill Maher and starts calling him brother. Hey, brother, come on, brother Maher, brother this, brother that.
I don't like when he's on that show.
No, I don't like him at all. At one point, he's trying to run away from his problems, right?
He literally tries to run away. Like when he thinks those two guys are following, they're like, what are you doing? He's like,
I was running away. He's like, I was running. They were like, this nigga's crazy.
And they were just like, we're gone. I do like the fact of like Denzel trying to run is one of the fucking funniest things. Like, yo, you would not have gotten very far at all.
Again, this dude was a sex symbol, yo. Like, Samora has a very famous joke about sucking Denzel Washington's dick. Like, that's how this dude was like, and now look at him.
You think she still would or no?
No, I don't think she would.
I don't think anybody would. Look at it. Like, it's like, oh, come on, man. Like, he looks like a doofus. Like, was the goal to make him look as dumpy and dumb as humanly possible? He can't run more than about 15 feet. And these two dudes are like, all right, whew. Like, I'm done with this shit. And of course, everybody finds out that he actually took the money, and like the people at the law firm are
the
like,
informant that reports to the law firm is like, yo, I just heard some shit about you, yo, and Denzel was like,
yeah, he didn't even like look up. He was like,
that shit.
Like, nope.
And then we cut to him typing his arguments. What is it?
Indictment?
Yeah, his indictment
Of himself.
For immediate barring from the California bar and the human race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, take it
All
easy.
right, calm down.
All right,
yo.
Cornell.
Like, you fucked up, yo. Calm down. So he quits the job, right? And he is on his way to meet with Maya one last time with a big bulldog, with a big porcelain bulldog in his hand.
Yeah.
That was given to him from
This is Williams.
the Williams firm. And he's like, look, I really like you, but take this dog. I got to roll.
Well, the dog is to kind of be like,
like,
keep on
protect
fighting.
Keep on trucking, baby. Like, keep this dog safe and guard it. And then he's like, I'm out. And before he can leave, George comes in and is like, Roman, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you really quickly, Roman.
Like, wait a minute, you
Like,
seem
wait
different.
A minute. I don't know about this. And they go out and they have a very interesting conversation, essentially about the themes of the film.
Right. And what you realize is George has, like, and the movie does actually a piss poor job about this, but what you're meant to understand is that George has been changed by Roman.
Yeah.
Like, Roman's like hardcore civil rights. We need to do these things. Like, but he's still kind of the same guy, because he's like, all right, well, we need to raise our rates and like make more money. But he's like, but now we can do pro bono work, and that's good, right, everybody? And he doesn't have like an ulterior motive, even though his evil face says he does.
Right.
Like, he actually thinks this is a good idea.
Look, I still like money. Like, all right. I mean,
these bullseye costumes are not going to buy themselves. And he talks to him, and it's about the, like you said, the central themes of the movie. And
they part ways. And
well, because Roman is getting ready to go turn himself in to prison.
Yeah. Roman walks away. Unbeknownst to the two of them, a Monte Carlo has been following them, which I noticed when I was in the theater. I was like, that car's following them. Because I try to be aware of shit like that. You know what I mean? So
you're trying to guess the movie ahead of time?
Well, no, not necessarily guess the movie ahead of time, but try to, be aware of my surroundings. Especially when you're around people who aren't. Like, I have to kind of be aware.
You mean your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife doesn't either.
So it's like, I got to keep my head on the swivel 2 times.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the part of my wife that doesn't pay attention to things like that when we're out. I'm like, that's the white part of you. That is. It's just the like, oh,
that's the Florida part of my wife.
Yeah, it's the carefree part. And I'm like, nah.
The Florida part?
Yeah, the Florida part. Like,
she's from a small town.
She's from a small town in the middle of Florida. There is no crime in Port Orange, Florida. Somebody's hop, skip, and a jump away from Daytona.
Somebody stole the oranges off of Mr. Smith's tree.
Right.
We better call the police. Let's see if we can get in the town blotter. Like,
Wow.
No, but I do think growing up black, like, you were near the city and I lived in the city. Like, no, I don't go anywhere where I'm just like,
no, fuck that.
Now, my wife will like stop walking and I'm like, watch yourself. There's like a person walking
there's
behind
somebody
you.
behind you. Right.
She does it like pay attention. But I honestly think my wife grew up a lot of the time like in Pennsylvania. Like, in a small town in Pennsylvania, and it's just like, no, I think that's the white side. Like, it's just like, life's carefree, it's all right. And I'm like, nah, they gonna put you in jail for 5 to 15. Wake up, look around, keep your goddamn head on a swivel, man. No, fuck that.
Wow.
So Roman is walking by, and they separate. George sees the Monte Carlo do a sharp U-turn, and he sees
very obvious.
Yeah, and he sees
we're gonna murder this guy.
He sees the guy who is a hitman, and the hitman is billed in IMDb as, like, the character's name is Hitman, right? The actor's name is
Bill Hitman.
Just N Time.
Shut up. Yo.
All right, yo. Good night, everybody.
His name is Just N Time, yo.
That's ridiculous.
His name is Just N Time. You'll have to expand the cast list. He's all the way at the bottom. His name is Just N Time.
This nigga a rapper.
I don't think he is. I think he's like a producer.
Like a
film producer.
No. Just in time. Yeah, there he is.
Just in Time was born on August 31st, 1992.
Yo, he's been in a lot of movies.
In Monterey, California. God,
he's got 3 producer credits. What?
So Just in Time arrives just in time to shoot a Roman in the back. And George hears the gunshot. He runs around the corner, and he sees Roman's symbol, right? The symbol for everything that Roman is, right? And it's this massive class action lawsuit that he's building a case for to try and help the disenfranchised. And
so he decides to steal it off of a dead body.
So he decides to take it and go ahead and try to get this thing, taken care of in big boy court.
But he actually spends he has people in the law firm really working on this. He takes it really seriously.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So ultimately, Roman's goal of using somebody who is a powerful person who could dedicate the money and time to get this done, because he said this would take years to do, he actually does.
Yeah, he does.
That is actually his legacy, which is kind of interesting. And it just kind of ends there.
Yep.
But again, the undergirdling plot of this movie is terrible. It's just not very good. The stealing the money type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole plot is a plot device to talk about the characters.
To get to the very end, to get to this ending.
Yeah.
For him to get shot.
To get to this happy ending. This weird, happy
pseudo
ending.
Happy ending.
Yeah, of this massive class action lawsuit for everyone who's been wrongfully convicted or some shit like that.
Well, but it's not. I don't even know that it's necessarily for that. But I do think it's also to change the justice system. Period.
Yeah.
Right. To who knows what that would do, but or whether it would just get dismissed out of hand. Like, this is the ramblings of a madman.
It would get dismissed out of hand.
Maybe it might. I mean, look, stranger things have happened. An eccentric old black man doofus might change the world. You never know. So that is it for Roman J. Israel. Any parting words?
Yeah. Again, if you want to see this, it's not a bad movie. If you want to see Denzel act in a way that you have probably never seen him act before, it's worth checking out. It's 2 hours of my life that I didn't regret wasting. But yeah, it's fine.
All right, there you go, Terrence.
Yeah, it's
solid review.
It is what it is. Again, Denzel was great. Movie itself wasn't all that great.
I agree.
I really didn't like it that much.
Okay, that's it for us for Roman J. Israel. We'll be back for a preview for episode 126 next week.
See you.
Take it easy.
Bye.
We out.